Winning rosters in the NBA aren't always that obvious. For example, think about the 2019 Raptors in the finals. No one expected them to win it all. The Raptors' odds to win it all that year was 1400 plus versus the Warriors at minus 195. And we all know what happened. Because for people to consider rosters to be successful in the NBA, a number of certainties have to happen, like pillars of dependable success. Bulls have a canvas that covers those pillars kind of. Let me explain. The most interesting dynamic on the roster is the Big Four, as I call it. The one between Lonzo Ball, famous for being known because of his dad, Derozan, a player who left his prime in Toronto, Levine, the second coming of MJ, and Caruso, the GOAT, obviously. It's a very unique pairing to say the least. Some may say they don't mesh well. To that, I say you aren't looking careful enough. If we look at Ball, he's still pre-prime right now and approaching his prime. I think Ball is a player that does best when he's handed the keys to the offense, when he's not playing alongside guys like LeBron James, and when he's not in the spotlight, is when he shined, honestly. Analytically, he has improved his three-point shooting every year since he's ditched his ugly form. As a result, he's improved his three-point field goal year after year. Not to mention, Lonzo is naturally a pass-first player, and when those players learn how to shoot consistently, it's a wrap for the entire league. Now, Derozan brings an interesting dynamic to the team. He's like that one player that does best when the chips are stacked against him. I think of him as a modern-day Michael Jordan. He really only shoots mid-range shots, but he's pretty efficient doing it. I think Derozan is way past his prime already when he left in Toronto, however. He still has incredible upside in terms of scoring the basketball. Now switching gears to the OG Bull, Levine has proven he is a superstar talent. Levine plays like he's just doing shooting drills out there every single game. He has the shooting of Stephen Curry and the athleticism of Russell Westbrook, in my opinion. Levine shot 42% from 3 last season, which was just on par with Curry's 43%. Levine is clearly the second coming of Michael Jordan and a great leader to the squad. Now Caruso is an interesting player. He plays like he's in the 80s, minus the ferocious dunks and lobs, but he's still a player that's willing to sacrifice his body for steals and rebounds. And yet he is efficient with shooting and scoring. Normally players who hustle can only hustle. With Caruso, he's a Swiss Army knife, meaning he can do everything. But it's not like the team has no flaws. Almost no one on the Bulls roster has experience winning championships in terms of the starting lineup, with the exception of Caruso, Ball, Levine, and Derozan, never ever made it to the finals. If you look back at 2019 Raptors, they had a player with championship experience. Those players were Kawhi, who won 2 rings previously, and Ibaka, who went to the finals with the Thunder earlier in 2012. Experience can't be ignored, however. It's the reason why there are favorites in betting odds. It's because if you won in the past, it proves that you have a greater chance than those who don't. That's not to say the Bulls should be written off, however. The Bulls' best chance of winning a championship is if each player formed pillars of the team. Lonzo Ball would only focus on playmaking on offense. Derozan would be a shot creator in the mid-range area. Levine would be a shot creator with emphasis on threes and dunks. Caruso would focus on playmaking and hustling for steals and boards. It's kind of similar to the Bulls in the 90s, the team that three-peated. Jordan was the shot creator in the mid-range area. Pippen was the playmaker. Rodman was the hustle player. I think it's very likely the Bulls can make it to the finals if they're healthy, and who knows, maybe even win it all.